Welcome, everybody, to another episode of Nothing Like a Good Book. And we've got a lot of rain where I am at the moment. By gee, we've needed it, though, in the desert. And hasn't stopped for 24 hours, which is great. We do need it. But, of course, you don't want too much because you know what happens. But anyway, excuse my appearance. Can't be helped. The show must go on, as they say. My guest today, very interesting, very interesting. But before we get into that, I want to remind you that I've had a couple of emails. People are saying, look, can you help me with this, help me with that? The show is dedicated to authors. It's about discovering your book. And it is about promoting your book. And it is about selling your book if we can help you get sales. And you will get sales if you do promotions. And everybody I seem to interview is connected with at the moment, either a promoter or some sort of publisher or some sort of operation where they're doing all sorts of things for you to help you sell your book. And that's good if they're doing what they say that they're doing. Because I've also had a few calls on a few other eras, and nobody uses my name without my consent. Nobody uses this platform, Nothing Like a Good Book, or this show, right, without my consent. So that's number one. A couple of housekeeping rules, as my friend Mr. Sterling says. But the reality is we're here to help. And soon my site will be up, God willing. And there'll be a lot more there for authors as well that we can do for you. So, and it doesn't, break the bank, which is more important. Today, my guest author was raised in Bel Air, Maryland, on a farm in Harford County. She has a BS in accounting from the University of Wisconsin, Oshkosh, Strayer College. Oshkosh, isn't it where all those beautiful planes fly, the light aircraft, Oshkosh, and all that type of thing? Beautiful. I was a private pilot once for about an hour. I was the second woman to complete field wire training at Fort Ord, California, where I was trained to climb telephone poles. This I've got to find out about. A U.S. Army veteran. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for your service in the Vietnam era. And she was stationed at Fort Hood in Texas. All right? And this is where she was raped by two servicemen. And if that wasn't enough, well, I'll let her tell the story, I think, because that's what's important. So I'd like to welcome this lovely lady to the show. And her name is Brenda Lou Webb. Hello, Brenda. How are you?
Hi.
It is Brenda. That's your book writing, okay, which we're going to talk about, your book, The Bright Beyond the Dark. Brilliant writing, heavy stuff, but very honest.
Yes, it is.
It is very honest. The reality is you like to be called Lou.
Yes, I do.
Instead of Brenda, right?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Excuse my appearance today, won't you? I've had some surgery done.
That's fine.
You suffered, extreme abuse in your first marriage. You're beaten and raped for 4 years until he died. Dare I ask how he died? Did you have something to do with that? No, of course not.
Oh, no.
You just wish it could have happened sooner.
He actually died in a fire.
Really?
Yes.
Maybe that was justice. I don't know.
I think it was.
You poor devil, beaten and raped for 4 years. Then you married twice more. You're divorced now, though, and you have 3 children. Yes. So may I ask, were those marriages non-violent for you, the last 2?
Yes, they were non-violent. I never suffered more abuse after my first husband died.
Okay. Good for you. You'd had enough anyway, right?
Yes.
More sadness. Before we get on to the good stuff, more grief. Your son, Eric, he passed 11 years ago.
He did.
Was he a young man, old, or what?
He was 29 when he died.
Oh, in his prime, technically.
Yes, absolutely.
And
it was a horrible time.
I bet you it was. Well, he's with you now, and he's guiding you through this.
Yes.
That's good. Here's some good news. Yay! You are a kidney cancer survivor.
I am. An interesting thing, I was diagnosed with kidney cancer about a year after Eric died. And it's sort of, because I was deep in my grief for all that year, And when I was diagnosed with kidney cancer, it was like a wake-up call. Come on, Brenda, you've got to take care of yourself. And it sort of started my new life without my son.
Right, right. So maybe sometimes he looks down and says, Mom, if I hadn't have gone, you would not have done what you've been doing now. Right. Okay. So you can always look at it that way. So yes. You live with several pets now? Is that right?
I do. I have my service dog, Luna, and 2 other dogs. I also have 2 small parrots and 4 cats, right, and 3 aquariums.
Is that Luna? That's Luna, right?
Yes, that's Luna.
Beautiful doggy. And the breed? It looks like a Scottish Terrier, but what's the breed?
She's actually 3/4 Chihuahua, and the rest is Yorkie.
3/4 Chihuahua. Which end? Yes. Back or front? And Corgi, did you say?
I said Yorkie.
Yorkie, right. Little Yorkie. Yeah, there's no Corgi in there. Oh, little.
No, not at all.
She's lovely. Yeah, beautiful. Okay, we'll go back to 2 then if I can do that. Get out of here. And then I'll take this one away like that. Boom. Yeah, okay. I'm getting better. So that was Luna. What was the... people say to me, why do you do this with people? Why don't you just get into the book? Because we want to know who the author is. We want to understand your pain, what you've been through, what you've experienced. You haven't sat down with AI and just gone, write me something. You know what I mean? Yeah. You've lived all through this hell. But it's what you write in the book and what you share as your memoir of what it can do for others. That's what it's about. So the reasoning behind writing about your abusive marriage was what, though?
Well, originally I wanted to write about it because I hoped to give other women inspiration to escape their abusive relationships. But as I was writing it, I, of course, had to go back to Fort Hood. And although I knew, because that's where I met my first husband, I knew that something bad had happened, but it wasn't in the forefront of my mind. So when I started writing, I had a nightmare about the rape, and it was as if it had just happened.
Right. So what happened then?
Well, I started writing, I sunk into my deepest self, my darkest self, severe PTSD symptoms, suicidal, and...
what do you think got you through that? What do you think got you through the suicidal part?
I started getting excellent therapy, but really it all came down to I started writing poetry to process all of these dark feelings.
Okay. I wonder what led you into that. What, you just sat down with a pad and a pen and it just flowed?
That's basically it. I just had these feelings that had to come out, and they flowed out on paper.
Depression, anxiety, suicidal thoughts, nightmares, you poor thing. I mean, you went through a lot, but you needed a way to process your emotions, which is clever. You found you were led to doing poetry, of all things.
Yes.
I must admit, your writing is pretty raw and dark, isn't it?
It is, right? It is, absolutely. It starts out that way.
So people say, all right, so what's the book? Well, let's see if I can get this thing up here. We'll go here, and then we're going to go like this. Boom. The Bright and Beyond the Dark by Brenda Lou Webb. Why do you like Lou as a matter of interest instead of Brenda?
Well,
is there a story behind that?
Story. I'm sorry, one moment.
That's
technical issue.
Technical? Go away, Mr. Gremlin. Not today, please. Thank you.
Everybody always called me Brenda. And I went back to school at Walter State College here in Greenville. And I learned that I was enjoyed being on the stage, and Luna was on the stage with me. We did improv and storytelling, and I came to be my outgoing self, my brave self, and I wanted to mark that with calling myself Lou rather than Brenda. It was like my new self.
Okay. A new identity, basically. Yeah.
Yes.
Very good. Branding. There's a lot in a name. There's more to it than meets the eye.
Yeah.
The nightmare was bad. You went through everything. Lou, the book starts out very dark. The poem's written in very dark times, which is understandable. That's what it helped you, but you had to get them out and you wrote them down, and that's what it's about. Mm-hmm. But this is when your PTSD symptoms were at their worst, right?
Yes, indeed.
But I think eventually, weren't you starting to write a little bit more hopeful poetry?
After a long time, it took a long time for me to feel more hopeful that there was a brightness beyond the dark, so to speak.
Right.
It was very hard. I had to stop working. I couldn't work anymore because of my PTSD symptoms. Mm-hmm. And so that gave me a lot of time to myself. And right. I possibly would have hurt myself if I hadn't had this outlet in poetry.
But you're all alone going through this, basically,
yes.
Except for the therapy when you went to the therapist.
Yes, I was all alone.
Do you ever feel Eric was with you?
Oh, yes. I still feel like he is with me. One of my parrots says, Eric. And I feel
You've got parrots.
Here, yes.
Well, long as it's not glass or cockatoos. No. The parrots pick up every darn thing. You've got to be super careful. By the way, yes, we're showing your authorlouwebb.com, correct?
Yes.
Yes, that's where, folks, you can actually buy the book direct. Well, the link is there for you to get to the book, authorlouwebb.com, okay? And she's our guest author on this episode of Nothing Like a Good Book. Now, what was I going to ask you? Yeah, the bright beyond the dark, right? That's the result of this journey, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
And you're hoping out of all of this, who buy a book like that? So miserable, so sad.
No, it's meant to be inspiring. It's meant to show people in abusive relationships or who have been raped, who have been subject to violence, that there is hope. I mean, for the first part of the book, to show other women mostly, but men too, that I was in a very, very dark place, very bad place. And the more hopeful poetry, the better, happier poetry is meant to show that I did come out of it.
Yeah. I mean, in a hopeless situation, no matter which way you turn, there was a brick wall, but you still broke through it no matter what. At the end of the day, you got through. And that's the message to anybody else watching this where, things are so bad. And I can relate to it. I've been there, believe it or not. But it takes a lot of kahunas to work through it.
It does.
In your case, it's a lot of guts. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's how you got started writing the poetry. How did you feel about yourself before you started writing? I mean, I've heard you say you were depressed and PTSD and all that. What was your feeling about you?
I carried a lot of shame and self-hate because of what I went through, because of the rape. And basically, after I was raped, I felt such extreme shame because I felt like I had done something to deserve it. And I want women to know, I want to bring rape out of the shadows. I want people to stop whispering about it. I want to help women be brave after they've been through something like that.
I know it's a losing battle, though, isn't it?
It is. It can be.
Well, you got to keep trying. It's numbers. But it's very, very difficult. You think once was enough with your experience at Fort Hood with those two servicemen, right?
Yes.
Now, whatever happened to them? Did anything happen to them? Did they get put away or anything?
No, I never reported it. I was too ashamed. I never did.
Usually that's the problem, yeah.
Yes.
Okay, well, karma will get them in another way, so don't worry about it.
Exactly. I know.
That's not a problem. It'll hit them when they least expect it.
Exactly.
So that's the first time. But then you were married, and that 4 years of being raped. I don't understand this dude at all. You were married. Why would he, well, we won't go there. Okay. So let me ask you something. What was it like when you were in the service? On the good side, because I want to ask you, why were you climbing up poles?
Well, I enlisted basically to get away from home, to get away from my dad.
I see.
And I decided on that job because I wanted to do something outside. Now, there were other jobs I could do outside, and I don't know why I picked that one.
Right.
And it was tough. I guess something in me wanted to be brave, to show that I could do something awesome.
Okay, so it was really in the training, not for a specific purpose to plant bombs up there or anything, or to put listening stuff or anything. It was a matter of being able to do the pole in the first place.
Yes.
I see. And you did. And you were what, the second and only woman to do that?
Yes, out of 4 women, I was the 4th woman who attempted it, and only the second.
Good job. Well done. Well done.
Yes, it was a challenge. And I have to tell you that the people who were training me, the sergeant, he was out to prove I didn't belong. And he did everything he could to make my life miserable there.
Another chauvinist pig, right?
Yes. But you know what?
Yes, you're mad and I'm not. But what?
I showed those guys how to do it. I think I helped them complete the training because they figured they'd be damned if a woman was going to do it and not them. So I think I gave them a little more courage. Unbelievable.
If a woman was going to do it. Yeah, I know. So what would be the best way? Well, you have talked about you don't want other women to go through, but you're hoping to accomplish what more than anything in the world with this book, right? Your release of the bright beyond the dark. What do you really want to accomplish from this?
I really want to give inspiration to women who have been in the hands of an abusive husband. I want to bring out what people mostly whisper about, because even in abusive relationships, women feel shame. They blame it on themselves. And I want to tell them it's not your fault. You can get beyond this. Seek help. So really, it's more of an inspirational book.
A motivational, inspirational, right? For anybody that is going through it, or maybe has been through it, needs a top up, or somebody you know, or a family member, perhaps it'd be a nice gift to help them through. Yes. There'd be a way. What's the biggest thing? What's the biggest thing for women? Why? I understand about the shame and you don't want anybody to know about it. But if you get mad enough, the next stage after being shocked and everything else and hurt, if you get mad about it, why don't you go report it to the police? What's the biggest stopper from doing that?
Shame.
Shame that you've got to go through everything again. If it goes to court, that you've got to have it, they tear you apart with See, this is the problem. It's the system where he versus you versus him. And,
Exactly. And actually, Mark, I did try to report it to the police when I was being abused by my husband. I tried, but they did nothing. I came home one day from school and I found my entire apartment ripped apart, all of my possessions destroyed. I had my 2 girls at the time, and fortunately their things didn't get ripped up. but he hung a doll in the bathroom and wrote on the mirror with lipstick or crayon or something, "You're dead."
Oh my God!
And
This was the husband at the time.
yes, yes,
This is the one for 4 years that beat you and raped you.
yes, yes.
My question would be, why didn't you get out earlier with the girls?
Because I had absolutely no self-esteem. I didn't think, some part of me thought that I deserved it. And when the police wouldn't help, when I called them after I found my apartment that way, they came in and they said, "I'm sorry, we can't do anything unless we catch him in the act." And so they offered me no recourse. I had no one to turn to.
I don't understand that. There's guys arrested for just raising their damn hand, for God's sake, and they didn't mean it.
Yeah,
You know
well,
what I mean? Didn't you have bruises? The joint was torn apart. Didn't they see that?
I actually, one time when I called them, I called them because Alan had driven away drunk with my daughter in the car. And I was terrified that she would be hurt.
Oh boy. Yeah, here we go. That's a scary one. The children come first, I understand. But there are shelters, you know. I mean, I've done a lot of interviews with nonprofits, you know, they do a wonderful job, abuse, but then again, it's in the book, and it's not easy sometimes just to get up and go. There's a lot of factors, you know, and situations. So you will accomplish a lot with this book. I believe you are. You are encouraging people in abusive relationships to seek help and to leave their abusers. You know, people say, well, why didn't you just leave your husband, you know, at the time? But there's more to it. There's a lot more to it. Yeah, okay, so Bright Beyond the Dark. Now, this can be bought directly from your site, can't it? This is authorlouwebb.com.
Yes, it will. If you click on it, it'll take you to Amazon, where it's available on Amazon.
Okay, so it's a link. Why did you want to do this podcast, Nothing Like a Good Book, with this book?
Well, I had heard about these podcasts and your series, Nothing Like a Good Book. And I thought, if anyone could help me get my message out, it would be you.
Thank you.
Oh, of course.
That's very nice of you. The Bright Beyond the Dark is the result of a journey that Brenda Lou Webb went through for many, many, many years. And when someone, you know, can sit down and write and bear all from in here and try to help others, there's a lot of good, a lot of beautiful good karma behind all of that. So I hope you sell. I hope you sell 1 million books with it. Now I want to talk about the website is https://authorlouwebb.com. In fact, let me put it up here. Is that the one? Yeah, authorlouwebb.com.
That's it.
Yeah. And Facebook. You're on Facebook?
I am Brenda Lou Webb on Facebook.
Facebook.com. Okay. And an Instagram account as well.
Yes, indeed.
Instagram.com/Brenda Lou Webb. So may I ask, you did mention his name before, but I won't say his name again, but the 4-year, did anything ever happen to him? Did he, he died, didn't he? That's right. I beg your pardon. Died before.
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
Boom, boom. All right. Okay. All righty. Is there, I'm sorry.
The story behind that is that my oldest daughter was 3, and he wanted to take her back to Michigan. I was living in Oshkosh. He wanted to take her back to Michigan to see the family. And after 2 weeks, he brought her back. He wanted to bring my other daughter, but she was only 1, and I wouldn't let him. And I suffered for that. He punished me with that. He raped me in front of my daughters.
Oh, my God, right. That's disgusting. That's power. That's showing who's the boss.
Exactly. But you know what? It was that night that I wouldn't let him take my youngest daughter. It was that night that he fell asleep with a cigarette and caught the trailer on him.
Oh, boy. There we go. And you didn't, I'll ask you, did you feel any remorse?
You know what? It's weird. It's that Stockholm syndrome. I felt grief when he died.
Right.
I didn't feel relief or anything like that. I felt
no grief. Party, didn't dance on the table or anything with the daughters?
No, not at all.
Right. Didn't go out and get drunk with friends and celebrate?
No. But I was not able to see the body, obviously, because it was burnt.
Right.
And for years after that, I was always looking over my shoulder thinking he was going to show up. Because
yeah, scary.
It is.
Well, you can always just say, do you have nightmares with him still around? Do you feel him around sometimes?
No, I don't feel him around at all.
That's good. I think he's probably gone to the light. Let's hope so anyway, for your sake. You're a brave lady and very, you admire, I'm in admiration of you, I can tell you. The bright beyond the dark, ladies and gentlemen, it's the result of a horrendous journey, but you can come through it. And that's what it's all about, the beautiful book. The author is Lou Webb, well, Brenda Lou Webb, but authorlouwebb.com. You can go there and order directly, okay? And, quite frankly, I think it's a wonderful thing what you've done. I wish you well with it. A lot's come out.
Thank you very much.
Let's hope it gets into the hands of the people that need it most.
Absolutely.
True.
And the really cool thing about that website is that readers can contact me. There's a place where they can contact me. And hopefully they might share their stories and I might encourage them. So really that's the best part of that website is being able to hear from my readers.
Right. Very good. That's a good idea. Well, in that case, let's whack it up again just to make sure. There it is there. Slow. I can't get it any slower. authorlouwebb.com. Okay. authorlouwebb.com. Where can one buy this book?
It is, you can go on Amazon and search for the book. It's available there. It will soon be in bookstores all over the country, Barnes & Noble, Books A Million, and it'll be in libraries too.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Yeah. Under what section?
Well, I'm not sure about that.
Yeah, I know. It's interesting with what's been going on with libraries, I mean, you know what I mean?
Yes.
Yeah. All righty. Listen, it's been wonderful speaking with you. And again, thank you for your service.
You're welcome.
And for this beautiful book that you've written will help many people. All right.
Thank you, Mark. Yes.
You're most welcome. And I want you to take care. I
will. Thank you.
All right. Goodbye now. Absolutely marvelous. I tell you what. Heavy stuff. The bright beyond the dark is the result of that journey. Hope you enjoyed the show. And we've got another interesting episode coming. In fact, I've got quite a few authors coming up now with different books and so on. You can email me for the moment at mark@markbishopmedia.com. If there's any comments you'd like to make, any suggestions, by all means. I have open ears. I'm all ears, can't you see? Big black ones. All right. Got to go. Thank you so much. It was a pleasure being with you for this time. In Nothing Like a Good Book, where we promote and help authors of all authors. Okay? So if you got somebody who's writing a book and wants some good publicity, let us know.